The sheer fucking incompetence beggars belief. I mean, can you fucking? I mean, you've all heard about it by now. The release of Hadush Kabuti, who had been housed in the Bell Hotel, was jailed sexually assaulted a 14-year-old girl, and he was due to be taken out of prison and moved to another place for him for deportation. That's a joke in itself in this country. And he was released and was last seen getting on a train going to London. He was illegally released because they fucked up the paperwork. And the prison officer who was in charge of that's probably been promoted now. No, I assume he's been suspended. How fucking unbelievable. So this piece of shit is now walking free and clear in London. The sheer incompetence beggars belief. David Lammy, well, that always makes me makes me feel really fucking good whenever I hear the Justice Secretary. He's Justice Secretary now. Said on Friday night that Kabuta was at large in London after he was seen boarding a train from Chelmsford to London. Liverpool Street, the Met Police were assisting in the hunt for him. Well, I'm sure the Met Police are pissed off because they've got enough on their plate without having this added to their bloody workload. You incompetent, pathetic individuals. Oh, what an officer has been suspended from charging duties while an investigation takes place. I hope he's not being fucking paid, but I bet he is. And he'll probably have his union on him saying, it was an honest mistake, he didn't mean to do it. And now all those people in Essex must feel really chuffed. All those weeks of demonstrating, and look what happens. Yeah, spat in your face. Oh, dear, oh, dear. God, Jesus, this country, we are in deep shit. Lucy Powell elected Labour Deputy Leader in a blow to Starmer. I don't know why. She's been a bit outspoken. Irrelevant to me. I don't know who she is. I don't really give a shit. The Labour Party in this country in the front bench, you've only got to look at them. Shabama Mahmood, David Lammy. Who's the Foreign Secretary now? Yvette Cooper. She was the Home Secretary a couple of weeks ago. Now she's the Foreign Secretary or whatever the fuck. I mean, that's a really important dossier, you know. We're a laughing stock. I mean, the Americans must be looking at us and going, Jesus Christ. Unfucking believable. What's happened to the great, mighty United Kingdom? There we were in the 1940s, you know, fighting on our own for the first 2 years with the Commonwealth. I haven't forgotten you. Okay, and we did an amazing job. And look how we went from, you know, the piston-powered revolution to the jet power. The evolution, the things the Brits were learning and doing and creating, our expertise, our entrepreneurship, everything was quite extraordinary. And now look at us, in the fucking 2025, and we can't sort out our fucking illegal immigrants. And people say you should put the Royal Navy in the fucking in the fucking channel. Well, the Royal Navy's got to, if they see people in distress, they'll rescue them. So that wouldn't work. You can't give them the order to open fire because that's apparently illegal. Mind you, Russia probably would because they've been doing it into Ukraine for 3.5 years, and people are actually saying, oh, well, you can't retaliate with these long-range weapons because you might upset the Russians because they're going to, retaliate with nuclear weaponry. We've heard this for 3.5 years and not going to do it, and it's just bloody ridiculous. And I watched a film last night that I thought was going to be really good, and I can't remember what it was. There was a missile being fired to America inadvertently. I thought the whole fucking thing was a joke. It was so badly put together, and it was by that New Zealand director. I can't remember her name now, but she's done some really good movies. This is a typical Hollywood big blockbuster with loads of big stars in it. It was pathetic. It was absolutely fucking diabolically bad. The writing was awful. The continuity director lost the plot. And it just wasn't. Don't watch it. I can't remember the fucking name of it. And it's not worth watching. It was terrible. What a shame. To watch a bloody film these days is like winning the lottery. It's pretty well impossible to get a decent one. Apart from that little one I saw the other day with Sydney Sweeney in it called Americana. God, I love that little movie. Came out in 2022. What a delightful movie. Watch it. If you haven't seen it, watch it. In the meantime, the world is fucked. We got Starmer having a big meeting of the NATO heads or whatever in London yesterday. And what did they achieve? Fuck all. Lots of this bloody talk. Lots of bullshit and support for Ukraine. And Zelensky was over here with his begging bowl again. I feel sorry for the Ukrainian people, the people on the front line, the troops out there fighting for their very survival. They've 3.5 years of constant barrages from Russia, the destruction and ruination of the country. This is Russia all over. People have forgotten what Russia did in bloody Syria. Chemical weaponry, these blast bombs they used, the destruction of cities right across Syria because of Bashar al-Assad's, and Russia supporting him. And now, of course, he lives high on the hog in his mansion in fucking Moscow. If I had the technology, and which we do have, by the way, we could take him out, couldn't we? That'd be a good idea. I know who could take him out. The country that I admire more than anybody at the moment, and that's Israel. People go, oh, why do you support Israel? Because of Gaza. I've seen what Gaza's like. I've seen what they're doing over there against their own people. No demonstrations about that. And as for those pro-Palestinians, how fucking dare you? Who do you think you are? You think you're better than anybody else? Well, you're a bunch of morons, most. You don't even know where fucking Palestine... Well, there isn't a Palestine at the moment, okay? You're the guys who started it all. Why do you think you got kicked out of all the Arab countries? Because they fucking detest you. Because you're fucking evil. You fucked up. You kicked out of Kuwait. I was there. I was living in Kuwait when the Palestinians ran the country, and they backed the wrong horse there with Saddam Hussein's invasion. And they wouldn't take a single Palestinian back. Same goes for Saudi, Jordan, right on the border. That's how they all moved to fucking Lebanon and ruined that country. Wherever they go, they're like a fucking disease. And they're over here in the UK in their fucking thousands, and they're fucking this country up. We've got to do something about this. We are really in trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, be proud to wave the flag, go on those fucking demonstrations, make them peaceful. I know we're all going to be classified by the mainstream media, but you just ignore them because they're a bunch of losers anyway. Nobody gives a fuck what the BBC say, except you've got to pay your £16 odd a fucking month to have the privilege of listening to that rubbish coming out of there. And Sky News and CNN and MSNBC, pathetic. And ABC in Australia, how dare you? They're shockers. And CBC in America, the equivalent. Why? These great countries, America, Australia, Canada, and the UK. Thank God for Donald Trump. There are things about him that really fucking irritate me, but then I think, he cares about America. Okay, he's extending the White House and people are all upset about that. It's not costing the American taxpayer anything. It's going to be pretty impressive when it's finished. But that's an irrelevancy. I wish he'd give Ukraine the long-range fucking cruise missiles and we can start bombarding bloody Moscow and St. Petersburg. But anyway, he won't. I don't know why. I don't understand it. In the meantime, keep the faith. Have a good weekend. It's Saturday, by the way, and it's just coming up to, what's the time? 11:35. I look down there and it's up on the left-hand side of the fucking phone, you dick. But anyway, it's funny, I can remember things going back to when I was a schoolboy. One of the first little ditties I learned, it was a naughty ditty. I must have been about 7 or 8, and I can still remember it. Can you remember it? It was on the good ship Venus. By Christ, you should have seen this. The figurehead was a mole in bed. The mast, the cap. Anyway, there you go. On that note, but I remember that, and another one I do too as well. I was about 7, and then I can't remember what I did, 10 minutes ago, or I walk out over to the fridge to get something out and open the door and I go, oh, fuck me, what am I doing here? I can't remember. Do you ever get that? I'm sure some people do. But anyway, at my age, I'm allowed to have a few honest mistakes like that. Well, Saturday morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's overcast and dull, but not raining anyway, where I am here in Central Queensland. What am I doing? Central England, for God's sake. I wish I was in Central Queensland right now. Yeah, I'm going to sit outside and look at the stars. Because the stars in Australia are unbelievable in the Southern Hemisphere. Have you ever been? You should go out to this. The outback is beautiful, by the way, in Australia, and I love my Australians, even though you've got to put up with Albiceleste. Well, why? Why have you got him? Anyway, that's another story. I love my Australians and Canadians. Oh, God, you've got one as well over there, haven't you? The only one that's got any fucking Worcester and, pizzazz about him, and he has his problems, and some things make me really angry about him, is President Donald Trump. He cares about America. We all do, and we all should, if only we had somebody like that running here in England, running this country. Maybe the future holds a surprise for all of us, and maybe, just maybe it'll happen. I don't know. Meantime, love you all.